We now return to a town hall meeting, States of Addiction, Fighting the Opioid Epidemic.
Welcome back to a special edition of 13 News at 7. So far, we have tackled the growing concern over drug issues in our communities and the skyrocketing numbers of overdose deaths statewide. And some of the top experts say many of our country's top social problems are directly linked to drug abuse. When we talk about drug driving, violence, stress, even child abuse, oftentimes they are linked back to someone in a family having some sort of addiction. And this is something I know, Tim, that you all deal with, and you see different elements across a family and across society in your line of work. And what are your thoughts on that, about some of the major problems that we deal with in our society being caused by addiction?
If you talk to any law enforcement agency in any one of your cities or your counties, they will tell you that 95 to 98% of the crime is directly connected with a drug or alcohol issue. When you go into our schools, most of our behavior, dropout rates, things like that are directly related to misuse and abuse of alcohol or drugs. CPS cases, the same thing. So we're seeing not only, and we were just talking about Lily's place, we see the impact on these young children, but also the impact upon the families children who grow up in a family where alcohol or drug abuse is visible and readily seen, then that becomes acceptable. That's how you function. The terminology, if you feel bad, take a pill. And so part of what we're trying to do, and I will say this, bad kids come from good families and good kids come from bad families. We've got to get away from categorizing people and say, well, if this is going on, it's over here, because it's affecting all of us. And so we, in our prevention programs, are doing everything we can to bring coping mechanisms into our kids. It was mentioned earlier about Celebrate Recovery. If you're hurting, you're looking for something to take away or numb that hurt. So if we can give kids coping mechanisms to deal with anything that they may be facing, rejection, the bullying, what happens if you get a bad grade on a test? The world doesn't end. You don't necessarily have to go take something to numb that feeling. And so those are the type of things that we want to instill in our children and our young people, is the fact that, you know, life's hard, life's tough. You all know that. And we have to learn how to deal with those things, and the fact that, and I tell kids, God gave us 24 hours in a day because he knew we couldn't take 25. Every day we get it start over. And many of these kids have taken those skills and have now gone and shared them with their brothers and sisters and even with their parents. And we have some kids that are being raised by their grandparents.
And one of the common themes, I had a chance to share stories of 2 recovering addicts over this past month. And 2 of the things that stuck out to me, one, they both started and they tried drugs for the first time at 11 years old. And they tried marijuana. And the second was, they both said that they lived in a home with functioning alcoholics. So there are a lot of commonalities between that. Patrick?
There are, and we have parents obviously among us in the audience today. Catherine, you wanted to talk a little bit more about prevention too, right?
Well, my question do you think there are enough prevention programs and enough rehab programs in the area? Because what we were talking about in the break is that you guys are overworked. And there are waiting lists. There's you know, you can go in and you'll have 2-day stay for something, and then you leave, and then you have to wait again if you want to get back into it. And you have to wait forever until there's a bed to open up somewhere. So, you know, are we at capacity? I mean, are we over capacity now? I mean, do we have too many people out there waiting for help, and they can't get the treatment they need? And it's nobody's fault. I mean, you're doing what you can, but what's the answer?
What's the answer?
Who would like to address that, Tim?
The first biggest perception is that everybody has to have a bed, and that's not the case. Prestera, we provide a lot of outpatient services. So the fact is that we have to have a bed, That's not the case. The other thing is, you can want it for your spouse or your child or your grandchild, but until they want it for themselves, we see that revolving door. They'll show up for 2 days and then they'll walk out. Then 3 months later, they want back in. One thing that we did, and I'm very proud, and it's also a national item that people are looking at, we've just worked with Pennsylvania, is we have 844 Help for WV. And we have folks that man that phone number 24/7. So that if someone's in Huntington and they call, we may not have a bed in Huntington, but there may be a bed in Charleston. Someone may call in Boone County and we may not have one there, but we've got one in Mingo County. So they're that clearinghouse for all of those services to link that person up with what it is that they need in that particular situation. And it doesn't mean that everybody has to have a bed.
I know you have one more question out there, Patrick.
I do, and this is very important. Kim, when we were talking about the neonatal units, Sarah was talking about the things that they're doing for mothers who are addicted and so on. That triggered something with you, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. My sister and I here, she is an RN and has dealt with NAS for several years now, and we are in the process of opening a new neonatal center to deal with babies born with drug addiction, but to also, when the case arises, deal and withdraw mother and baby together. And our focus is really to go beyond just a medical treatment. It's a very holistic approach that treats, you know, all of the senses, aromatherapy, massage therapy, dealing spiritually with them and bringing them to a place, the entire family, so that penetrates and it truly causes healing just beyond medically getting a baby ready to leave and go back out into the world, but really experiencing a deep change and taking them through that effort and loving them through that, giving them a purpose and a sense of hope.
And very quickly, where can they find that again?
Stillwater's Neonatal Center.
Okay,
you can find us online and our website.
Kim, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
When we come back, all of our panelists weigh in on different options for treatment. Stay with us.
We will return to a town hall meeting.